My name is Liz, and welcome to this week's edition of the Therapy Corner. Today we're going to start out with this week's assessment of the week. The first assessment we're going to feature today is the National Institute on Health Stroke Scale. And this, in my opinion, this is one of the best assessments of all time. What is the stroke scale, you may ask? Well, it is an 11-item standardized neurological examination that is used to evaluate the effects of stroke on the levels of consciousness, language, motor skills, and different types of sensation. A trained observer rates the patient's ability to perform simple tasks and answer different questions on a scale of 0 to 5, with 0 being there's no impairment at all, and 5 being there is that they cannot even perform the task. What's the purpose of this assessment? It is used to assess and measure the severity of symptoms associated with people after they have had a stroke, and it is a good indicator of their clinical and functional outcome, and it measures the severity of their symptoms. It looks at the client's underlying body functions and structures and how they will affect them in the future and what effect they have on their motor and cognitive performance. So how exactly does this assessment work? So it was designed to be used on patients age 18 to 64 who have suffered a stroke. And because it is a standardized assessment, it has a strict protocol that must be followed. And the protocol is all laid out into the stroke scale pamphlet that you will get. And you must follow the exact order that those different tasks show up on the form and do them in the exact order written. You must score on what the client actually does, not what you believe the client can do. And you cannot go back and change scores after that. You must leave them the same, and you must record them at that exact moment. The clinician should not coach the client on how to perform these tests, just use the written information that is given to them. The 11 different areas of testing that are covered are level of consciousness, gaze, visual fields, facial palsy, motor arm, motor leg, limb ataxia, sensation, best language, dysarthria, and extinction and inattention. So now we're going to go over here to our lovely client Kathy, and I'll show you how some of these assessments work. How the scale works is the first one is the level of consciousness. I'm going to ask her a series of questions to see if she is awake and alert. And the first one is, can you tell me what month it is?
September.
And how old are you?
Old. 58.
So she answered both questions correctly. So she gets a 0 for that one. And now I tell her, can you close your eyes for me and open them? Then make a fist for me.
Go.
So now let's talk about the strengths and weaknesses of the stroke scale. So 4 items have been shown to have poor reliabilities and are sometimes considered redundant, which is the level of consciousness, facial weakness, ataxia, and dysarthria. And it is not very useful in planning rehabilitation interventions. It's more of just used to predict the outcomes and severity of the stroke. But for strengths, it consistently measures the severity of the stroke and is very good at predicting what kind of functional outcome they will have. And it is easy to administer and is free and only takes about 6 minutes. Now let's go over here and talk with Matt and see what he has to say about the stroke scale. And he is a world-renowned therapist with over 50 years of practice. Now Matt, what do you think about the NIH stroke scale?
It's real good.
So now let's talk about some more of the reliability and validity. So overall, it does have very good reliability and validity. The retest reliability is considered excellent at a 0.93. And then the inter-rater and intra-rater reliability is also considered excellent at 0.95. And it also has very good predictive and concurrent validity, considered adequate to excellent at a 0.86. And then context validity is an excellent at 9.91. And it is considered very valid with an overall validity of a 0.9. So why should you use the stroke scale? So first, it's quick and easy to administer, taking only about 6 minutes, and all you need is the NIH stroke scale and a pencil and your client to administer it. And last but not least, it is free. Who doesn't love free stuff? The NIH stroke scale gives therapists an idea where their client is functionally and helps give them a quantifiable score that they can use to help show improvement in their clients' activities. It helps them show where their clients are at the current and helps predict what their clients' functional outcomes will be. And now before we leave tonight, we're going to see what Ranger has to say about the NIH stroke scale. He gives it a high 5.